Guys, Evelyn here on Ironic X Loser. Today I'm going to show you guys how I got this poster that you see in front of you. This was requested, someone asked me to do a tutorial on how I got here. So I'm going to do my best to recreate this poster. So what you want to do is going to go to File and New, and we're going to create a new Wattpad poster. I'm going to change my resolution to just 72, and we're going to click New. What we want to do is fill the document with a solid color, so you can either go to Layer, New Fill Layer, Solid Color, or you can go down here to the circle, which is our adjustments, and go to solid color, and then just black. So I'm just going to go ahead and just close everything on this here, and just go step by step. And what I did was I had 3 documents to build up the top part of the layer. So with the three images that I used this image here, this image here, and this image here. So we're going to drag one by one in. So our first image is the city landscape, so we're going to drag this one in, and we're just going to open it up into the document, and you can just click the chain link and go 100% if it's not at 100%. And that's the full size of it, and we're just going to have it centered almost like so. If you want to make sure your documents are centered correctly, you can go Control 8 on your keyboard, and while on your move tool, you're going to click center, proportion wise. If you go this center, it's going to center lengthwise, and this is going to center widthwise. So I'm going to go top right here. Okay, so next what we're going to do is we're going to drag in our next texture, which is this one here, and drag it into our document like so, and we're going to click chain link, and we're going to stretch it out. We just want this area here, which is like the city. We don't want much of the side area, and we're going to do something like so. Now we're going to layer mask. We're going to grab our round brush tool, fluffy brush, make it a big enough size where you can kind of erase the center. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how it looks. So I'm going to take off this top one, and as you can see, we just used it, and we just wanted to get mostly the grass and the ground texture in. So we're going to go ahead, and I might stretch it out a little bit more to make it a bit more wider, like so. And we're just going to use our round brush tool, having black as our main foreground color on our white layer mask. We're just going to go ahead and just paint in like so. You can lower your brush up the size and just get into the details like so, and then we're just going to move it up to where it meets, like so, where you don't see the actual line, like so. Next we added our first set of zombies here, and what I did was I dragged the texture into a new tab and figure out which zombies we want to use. We're going to use the zombies on the, I believe it was the left side here, or maybe it was on this side here. Yeah, it was on the left side. So we're going to drag it in like so, and this is a pretty high quality image, so we don't really need to worry about resizing or stretching it out. We're going to do something like so. I'm going to add a layer mask. So we're going to use a layer mask, and we're just going to delete what we don't need, which is the background and this here, like so. I'm not sure if I left dead bodies on the ground. I did. So we have that right there. And you can always just bring in some of the background if you want to add a little bit of details, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to just leave it like that because I like the sky of the other texture. Going back in here, I'm going to ignore the ones underneath, and we're going to place BTS down. So we have BTS right at the bottom of the textures we have so far. So I'm going to my folder, and I'm going to grab my BTS image, and I have the render here, and we're going to open a new tab. Using our move tool, we're just going to click and drag it over and have them set right around here. I'm actually going to move some of this texture. I'm going to actually make this one a little bit more down. I'm going to take the mask off and just paint a little bit of white in to give it more, so we have a little bit more room for BTS to be in. So I'm just going to move it down a little bit more like so. I'm going to go ahead and just erase this here. now if I look over to my other one, it's still not 100% to my liking, so I'm going to move BTS and the other texture on more so we can see some more of the zombies behind them. So I'm just going to move BTS and this one down using our move tool, or our keyboard while on the move tool, and we're just going to move them down like so. And we can actually move the dead up a little bit, like so. And I think that looks pretty good. And just hide that, and it's not bad. I'm just going to add a little bit more white into this one here, just to hide the line, just in case. Alright, so our next one we're going to add is some more background. So we're going to add this broken architecture, and I didn't use this one at all because it didn't see fit. So we're going to use the broken architecture to behind to get more texture in the background. So we're going to drag this in, just going to open it as is, and we're just going to stretch it out to 100%, like so. And we're going to say okay, and it's going to be above the dead, like so. And we're going to see how it looks. And we're going to move it over just a little bit, and what we're going to do is add a layer mask, and we're just going to use black and delete what's spilling out here, what we don't need, like so. Next we're going to add the girl in. So we have her here, and she's just right where this area is. Maybe you want to make it more center, so I'm just going to drag my ruler indicator and move this a little bit more center, like so. And we're going to drag our girl. I gave you guys the original image and the render just because I think it'd be easier if you don't want to have to resize or cut or erase much of her. So I'm just going to do something like that. She's going to stay right about here, and I left a lot of her background in to match. So just going to match the edges up like so. And she's gonna, her bottom's gonna match with the bottom there, so I'm just gonna move her up here to like that. Next we're going to add our background images to build the sides up and the edges, which would be look like this. So first one we added was the tree forest landscape. So we're going to drag this in and drag this out. We're going to drag it over, and this is going to be above the BTS image, like so. We're going to drag it like this here, and what we're going to do is we're going to add a layer mask and fade it down around brush, like so. Next we're going to add this chapel image. We're going to set to soft light. So I just titled it room. I'm going to bring it in, not on that one, on this one here. So we're going to bring it on top, and we're going to just center it like so. Set it to soft light, and we're going to move it to where we like it, and then we're going to add a layer mask again, and we're going to fade it out like so. Next we added this side image, and it's just going to fill the sides of the background just in case it gets cut off. So we're using the trees here. We're going to drag it on top. Like so. And we're just going to have it move to the side here. Add a layer mask, and we're just going to feather it all away and just have just a little bit of the side without actually cutting off any of the BTS members, like so. And I'm actually going to duplicate this, and I'm going to go to edit, transform, horizontal, and just move it onto this side here, like so. and then we're going to just delete the extra that we don't need and not make it like 100%. And I'm on the layer, on the image itself. You want to make sure you're on your layer mask so you don't actually delete anything. Okay. Next, we're going to add the zombies down here, and we set it to normal at 46% opacity. So we're going to our image, we're going to drag the zombie textures, open a new tab. This is from it's a still from Walking Dead. And we're just going to drag it down, making sure it's on top of everything, like so. And we're just going to set the opacity to 46%, leaving it on normal. And what we're going to do is we're going to add a layer mask and fade in the edges, like so, just to make it look pretty scary. Next, I added this leafy texture to give it more of a outdoorsy feel, because in the end of the world, no one takes care of your lawns or whatever, so everything's overgrown. So we're going to drag this over. We're going to bring it right about here. We're going to add a layer mask, and we're just going to delete what we don't want, which is a lot of it. So, and did I set it to anything? I left it at normal at 100%. So yeah, I'm just going to just delete what we don't need. We just want to get a little bit of overgrown fill at the bottom. You can move it up a little bit more, like so. Lastly, we're going to add this grunge light leak texture. I set to color burn at 49%. I named it color dodge, so I'm just dragging onto the image here. I'm going to pull it over here, and as you see it says dirt, www.dirt, whatever. I'm going to add it to color dodge, or color burn actually, and we're going to lower the opacity, like so, because we don't want it to give J-Hope too much color. We're going to add a layer mask, and we're going to delete the writing on it, like so. Next, I added a color PSD, which is this one here. I'm just going to click and drag it over, and this one as well. I'm just going to click and drag them all over onto this one here. Turn that one on. And this is what it's going to look like in the end. And then we have our, this is just our font, which is this one here. And I'm just going to click and drag it over as well. I'm going to have it underneath the Harry Potter text. And we're going to move it where it gives us some negative space right here. Or where it has the BTS meeting the dead. You don't want them to be like that, because then you can see that they really don't merge together. You want it to look like a real poster and everything's merged together. So that's why I put it right there. And then I added this light thingy I just did. It's just a drawing. I just drew it on. So I'm just going to set to normal first. And 100%. So you can see what it looks like, and it's just blurred lines, and it gives it a lot more of a texture, light hitting the image type of feel. So we're going to set it to soft light and at 51%, and this is how it looks. And then what I like to do is to merge layers visible, so Shift Control Alt, make sure your last layer is selected. Even if it's a coloring PC, make sure it's selected and go Shift Control Alt E. And it's going to merge all layers visible. So if you were to hide everything underneath your layer, your image will still be here. I would like to go to filter. I like to add Topaz Labs and Topaz Clean. If you don't have this, it's perfectly fine. You don't need it. I just use it to kind of smooth out the image a little bit more, give it more of a softer look, like so. Then I'm going to go to filter, sharpen, smart sharpen, and I'm going to do 500 by 0.3. And then I'm going to lower the opacity to about 36, and then I'm going to Shift Control Alt E again, and then I'm just going to filter, sharpen it, just give it a nice sharpened effect, and you're done. I hope you guys like this post tutorial. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. If you want to request a tutorial, go ahead and leave a comment in the comment box below, and I'll do my best to get those done for you. Once again, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I hope to have more for you soon. Bye guys.